Hey there, girlfriend. I am sure that as an introverted business owner, you have a lot of things going on. So, this video is perfect for you because we're going to talk about how you can save some time with your marketing. We're going to go over some time saving marketing hacks. So, we will see you on the other side. Hey, Rita girl.
Hey.
Girl, we are so excited to have you here. And before we get into these time-saving marketing hacks, girl, we want to get in your business. We want to know more about you, who you are, who you serve, and how you serve them.
Well, I am a single mom of 4, and you know how businesses often struggle to find the right balance between their local marketing and their digital marketing. Well, I am helping them come up with that right balance so they're able to market themselves in a way that actually feels good and is effective for them. So that's exactly what I do.
Awesome. So with you being in this field, I'm curious, what is the biggest challenges that you're seeing with entrepreneurs when it comes to marketing their businesses?
Overwhelm is usually the biggest problem. There's just so many things that everybody has to do all the time. With marketing especially, you have to do all the things, plus you need to do your job, and just not knowing what to post, when to post, how, all of the things.
So have you found that if they are able to delegate some of the tasks to other people that helps, or what is your experience with that?
Yeah, I think definitely having someone else take on those tasks helps. One, it's just not their focus. It's not the thing that they're good at, right? So
Right.
having someone else who's able to come in and hold their hand with them, because I find when I've had other people do my marketing, they weren't really able to find my voice and really do it completely for me.
Mhm.
And it wasn't good for me. So I really like it where I'm able to kind of hold their hand and say, okay, let's go over this together and let's see if this is a good fit. So I'll send them drafts and let them look over it and see if it's a good fit for them, and make
Mhm.
sure that it's speaking to their target audience in a way that they would speak.
Right.
So versus just the way that I would speak.
Right. Cool. So I'm sure that is very, very important because you want to make sure that their voice is being projected through their marketing, not your voice. Because at the end of the day, you're marketing for them and not yourself. So that's cool. So tell me this: what are some of your favorite? Or just give us a few of your favorite time-saving marketing hacks that you're using right now.
So one thing that I love to do is what I call this weekly theme amplification. And so what we'll do is we'll pick a theme for the week, and we'll come up with a video that they would record based on that theme.
Okay.
And that video would then go up on YouTube, and obviously we would optimize it so that it would get the most views as possible. And then we would take that video, embed it into their blog post that they would then write, that would also be optimized for SEO. And with that, you want to be making sure when you're writing blog posts that you're actually answering questions that people are asking,
Okay.
right? What are people asking? And answer those questions, embed that video, and then you're going to extract, using that same topic for the week, you're going to extract some content that you're going to then use for social media, and you're going to schedule all of that out for the week.
Okay.
Then, again, using that same topic, you're going to create an email newsletter. And ultimately, the goal is to take and drive content from your social media and your email newsletter and drive everything back to your website so that you can sell your products and services from your website. And so you're going to do that each week. So that is the strategy that I find to be most effective.
Okay, that's cool. So when you're doing this, I guess, how far ahead are you doing it? Because that's a lot to do in a week.
Right. So I like to do it at least a month in advance. Like you're
Okay.
planning everything out in advance so that you're not overwhelmed by trying to do like a week in advance. That's just, it's not feasible.
Okay, that makes sense. And then when it comes to, okay, so is the video pre-recorded or is it something that they can do live?
I would pre-record, right?
Okay. And
Yeah.
then you said to make sure that in the blog post that they have questions. How would they know what the questions are from the people if they just post it within the same week?
Right. Well, I'm doing a lot of research for them ahead of
Oh,
time.
okay. Okay.
So
That makes sense.
I'm just telling the listeners, like, if
Right.
when you are writing your blog post, make sure that you're writing your blog post to answer the questions that people or your target audience is actually asking. Don't
Okay.
just write. What I find that when people are blogging, they're just blogging things that they find to be maybe helpful.
Right.
Instead, do a little research, go to Google, go up there and see, like, type in a couple of questions, and then you'll see, in the results, there's some other people may ask, there are some questions down
Right.
there,
Got it.
and go in there, answer those questions. And that's going to help you, maybe rank a little bit higher because you're actually answering some of the questions that people want to know.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now, when you're doing this, do you use any AI tools to kind of assist you in it, or is it purely coming from what they feel or think about the question?
I love AI. I think that it is definitely helps you jump ahead and it helps you get ahead, and
Sure.
it helps you think faster than we ever could. The thing is, you need to learn how to use it effectively
Uh-huh.
and not to rely on it too heavily, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then are you also encouraging them to put their video transcription in that blog post as well? Or what would,
No.
okay, tell us a little bit more about that.
I wouldn't discourage it. It's just not part of what we're doing, right? Because what we're doing is the blog post itself should be so comprehensive that it answers all of the questions that they have. So I used to do the transcriptions when I had my podcast, right? We would do the transcriptions, and I didn't really find that it converted anything by adding the transcriptions in there. I didn't find them to be effective. Do you find
Okay.
them?
Yeah, I guess I've done it. It hasn't really been just straight up this transcription, but it's been a kind of a synopsis of the video, because I know that some of the people are not going to watch the video, but they'll read the words up under it. I mean,
Yeah.
you have people like that. Other
Yeah.
people won't read the words up under it and will watch the video. So to make sure that I'm accommodating all the type of people and their preferences on how they consume information, it was just a means to allow them to have options. And then the questions, I think that would be a definite addition thing too, because I haven't added the questions like you had said.
Yeah, maybe adding captions to the video. That way they could
Yep,
watch.
you could do that as well. Yep.
Yeah, so that it feels more interactive, and then yet they can just mute the video and feel that connection with the person recording the video versus, reading that long block of text. I think people would get lost in that, and nobody wants to format it anyways.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But that's why I asked you about the AI, because I've done the AI thing where I've asked it to write it kind of in a casual voice in 3 paragraphs, so it's not just a whole bunch of words, because I've done that and that gets really
Yeah.
there's no benefit of that because nobody's going to read it. But it gives the information in there, and then you can have the hyperlinks going back to your website, like you were talking about, to get that SEO. And then the questions, that's definitely a perk. I mean, kind of a level up than what I've normally done. But that sounds like a good thing to do too.
You know what I would like to add that would be good would be to ask AI to pull out some of the key moments in the video so that you could add those
Timestamps?
Yes, the timestamps to the video so that they could then go to those points in the video if they wanted to.
Yep.
That might be a good use of the AI transcripts.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I'm curious, when it comes down to marketing, what are some common mistakes that people are making, and how can they avoid them?
Well, I think the biggest mistake is inconsistency. And the second one is really not understanding the pain points or the buyer journey of your target audience.
Yeah.
And so if you don't really know what your target audience is struggling with, then, or even who they are, sometimes we think that we know who they are, but we don't really know who they are.
No, I got that. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I guess that's one of the reasons why I love surveys, because it allows you to really kind of do that market research ahead of time. And then
Yeah.
there's no guessing exactly what people want and what people are desiring, because they're going to tell you.
Yeah, I love that you use surveys. I think that it's really a good use of finding out more about your target audience.
Yeah, yeah. So I know as an introvert, and that's primarily who I serve, the introverted female entrepreneurs. That was one of the reasons why I created the surveys, because we're not one for the small talk. We like to get to the point and really find out who we're connecting with initially. I'm curious, what are some things that you have found just maybe connecting with other introverted entrepreneurs in their marketing journey? Has there been any special things that have highlighted because of their introvertedness?
Um, yeah, I think that a lot of people connect with me and they assume that they assume that I'm an extrovert. I guess I
Okay.
present myself as an extrovert. I am very much an introvert.
Okay.
But I think that one thing that a lot of introverts need is just like a lot of time, right? Like for me,
Yeah.
if I have to do more than 3 calls a day, I am so done,
Yeah.
right? Like, but as far as marketing goes and being an introvert, I find that a lot of times we don't really love getting on video. We will do it, right? But we don't love it. Um, but it is something that we kind of struggle with sometimes, but we will force ourselves to do it, and it gets easier over time.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And definitely is our friend, because it's a great
Yes,
way to drive traffic to our website without having to talk at all.
that's why we love it so much. That's why we love it.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, that's the part. Yeah, I mean, that's why I got into it, because it was just like, I don't have to talk to people, and I can still get
Yes.
people to come to my website.
It's the
Yeah.
long, it's, and it's, I always tell people, it's such the long strategy,
Oh, it
and,
is.
and like, yes, but it's long lasting too. Like
Yep.
you just have to get started and it's going to do it, and just get started and it's worth it, versus like, yes, ads might, work more immediate, and they might not. You might just be dumping money into something
Yeah.
that might not even pay off, but
Yep.
SEO is going to pay off. It's just going to
Yep.
take some time.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a firm believer in that too. I'm not. I don't like. I'm just gonna be straight up. I don't like ads. I feel like
I,
you're paying and praying that they're gonna work. So
I
I've heard so many people say they've had so much success from it, but from my vantage point, I have not. But I know one thing about ads for sure is that you want to make sure that it works free before you pay, because just because you paying don't mean it's gonna work. So you
I've
gotta
run
make
into
sure.
so many marketers, so many people who do the same thing as I do, especially locally, who do the same thing that I do, and they are all about running, ads for their clients. And they're like,
Really.
that's how they get leads for their clients. They run ads. And I'm like, I'm not really about the ads. I'm all about the SEO, especially
Yeah.
the local SEO. And they just look at me like, ugh, like, why? And I'm just like, well, it's the long game. I'm in it for the long haul. But yeah, they're just not into it. And I guess maybe for them, it's just about showing them the quick results. But I guess it really just depends on the budget too of the the professional that they're working with.
Right.
We're
Right.
talking about, at this point, when I'm talking about these people, I'm talking about local health and wellness, like practitioners
Exactly.
who want results quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that, yeah, I guess it depends on what you want to do. To me, it could be a money dump. So
I agree. I've known so many business owners, entrepreneurs, local business owners. I know so many people who have dumped tons of money into ad and not seen results. I still know so many people who are, just praying and wishing that their ads are going to pay off for them.
yeah.
I personally would rather spend my time creating content and focusing on optimizing all of the things instead.
Right. I'm with you. So give us one piece of advice that you would share with a fellow female entrepreneur that feels overwhelmed with her marketing right now.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times we feel obligated to start on every single platform, right? Like, and I know that people say this all the time. So there are two varying, thought processes, like be everywhere or be one place.
Right.
And I do think that you should be everywhere. Like, you should have a presence everywhere, but you should focus on building up your audience one place at a time. Right. So what that means is, like, if Instagram is your place to be, that's where you should be focusing on engaging with your audience. And that's where you should be trying to get your followers. Does that mean that you shouldn't post content on these other places? No, still post there, but engage more actively on that one platform. Right.
Yeah, I would agree too. So tell us about the local SEO game. I know you had mentioned that before when we were talking. I know that for some people that may be something new. Can you go and kind of give us a little details about how that works?
I think for a lot of online entrepreneurs, they don't feel like local SEO is really applicable for them because they don't have an office or a physical location.
Right.
But I'm here to tell you, like, you can still focus on your local SEO. You still can get a Google My Business profile, and you should have one. And you still should be posting to your Google My Business profile and creating some type of local presence. I do believe that you should be locally networking. If you cannot do it once a week, try to just get out there every once in a while, like maybe twice a month, maybe. And make some connections, because what I found is that when I go out and I connect with people locally, and I follow them on, let's say, LinkedIn, and I make a post on LinkedIn, those people who I've connected with locally are the first ones who support my content. So those local connections are actually supporting my stuff socially quicker than anybody else. So they're actually giving me a boost socially. So I say that as much as it is time consuming to do that local networking, it's actually worth it, because it gives you that boost that you might not realize is going to be beneficial for you socially, or in your social networking as well.
Okay, so tell me, what kind of events are you going to now locally? Are they mostly chamber events, or?
Well, I love the chamber. Here, I live in Ohio, so we have a huge, and I live in Columbus, which is the capital.
Right.
And we have a huge entrepreneurial community here. And so there are tons of communities here and events that I could go to. And I love going to the Columbus Chamber events, but there are neighborhoods where there are many other chamber events. So I can go to an event every single day if I wanted to.
Wow.
Luckily. But then there's some other offshoot events as well that I love going to. That one, when I first started, it's called Connected, and it's grown over these last 10 years.
Okay.
And has, I think, about 8 to 10,000 members now, and all of the events are free. And is also a fellow introvert, but he has
Okay.
kind of taught other people how to actually network, because like you and I know, like sometimes people don't really understand how to network. They just go in there, kind of shove their services down your throat, and they're
Yeah, they
like,
do.
here, buy from me.
Yep.
While they're handing you their business card. And I'm like, wait a minute, calm down. Let's put our pants back on, guy.
Yep.
So it's really good when people try to educate other business owners how to be a good networker.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening in some of these local communities that I really love. So if you can find communities or groups like that, then I think that that's really great to support them.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I totally agree with that. I am in the process of actually getting ready to implement my own local meetup just for that purpose, so I can be around more local folks, because I've been building my business online since COVID, and just breaking back into the local groove. It has been somewhat challenging because you're right. It's a little bit more time consuming than it normally would. I have to drive somewhere, so I have to put
Mhm.
that in. I can't just walk down to my office, which is probably like a minute walk compared to maybe a 20-minute walk if I have to go somewhere. I mean, a 20-minute drive, we have to go somewhere across town. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely a whole lot different. And you have to manage your time for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. So
Yeah,
I
no.
know you were telling me that you had some goodies on your website, girl. Tell us, or you were talking about your website. Tell us a little bit about your website and what people would see if they go.
Yeah, my website. I actually just updated my website yesterday, and so for years I've had a personal brand, and it's been ritasuzanne.com.
Right.
So for so many years, but what I found is when I go out, I'll say, this is my brand, and then people will say, okay, but what's your business name? And so I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to have to actually have a grown-up business name, right? So same thing, like whenever I go to these networking events, I feel like I have to put on grown-up clothes. And so I felt like I needed to have a good business name. So the same thing. Of course, I wanted it to come up with a name that was good for SEO and search results and stuff. So I changed it to wellnessmarketingstrategies.com.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, because that's what I'm doing. I'm providing wellness marketing strategies, and I'm surprised that it was available, and I stuck it up.
Okay, so that means I got to change this then.
Yeah, but everything's
Okay.
still redirecting, because,
Okay.
designer and all of the things. So I'm really good at all of that. So it's still all functioning, but yeah, so everything is, geared towards health and wellness professionals, but all the strategies are still applicable to any business of any size. So that's just who my target audience is. And so that's just, it's good for the SEO.
Exactly. I love that. So I love that you shared that story, because I think oftentimes people think they have to have it all figured out, when really it's just, you're learning as you go. You just have to take that first step. And then when you take the first step, the next one is revealed. So it's so imperative for you to take action and not sit on your hands and feel like you have to have it all figured out, because entrepreneurship is very iterative, as I'm sure you would agree.
Well, it's interesting because when I first started, it's like everybody had a personal brand. That's just what we did. Is like, that's your brand. Your website was your name.
Right.
And so now things are kind of pivoting, and I'm realizing as I'm doing more and more websites and audits and everything, that having something that's not a personal brand would actually have been more beneficial, because it would have been better for my SEO if it would have been a keyword rich domain versus a personal brand, because most people aren't really searching for Rita Suzanne, right? Instead, they're searching for wellness marketing, or they're searching for marketing strategies, or something along that line when they're going to Google, unless they're looking for me specifically.
Right. I got that. Okay. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Well, girl, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today. We are so internally grateful for your time and attention, as well as the value that you provided. And for those of you that are watching, we thank you again for watching the channel. If you know of anyone you would like me to interview in the future, by all means, reach out. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.